Hello YouTube and fellow DC Comic fans, I'm Keith One Shot, and this is my dramatic reading series, and today we will be covering Doomsday Clock 1, Part 2 from DC Comics. With less than 3 hours left before the world goes to shit, we see Rorschach walking towards his car with Erica Manson, the marionette, and Marcos Mayaz, the mime. As they get to the car, Erica says to Rorschach, "When do we get to see our son?" Then Rorschach replies, "When job is done." Then Erica says, "How long is this job going to take?" "Don't know." "Where are we going?" "No more questions. Don't like you." Then, as they approach the car, Erica says, "Is that a gas guzzler? Is it yours?" Then Rorschach replies, "Don't trust electric." "My granddad had one. Same color too. Shit brown." "Color's irrelevant." "Jesus Christ, it smells like shit brown. Do you live in here?" "Yes, and I can't smell through the mask." "Well, you're about to drive. Can you see through it?" "Perfectly." We then see the people of New York City fleeing their homes, and see the traffic on the bridges building up to a total gridlock. We then hear a government announcement say, "This is a mandatory evacuation. Do not return to your homes. Leave behind non-essential possessions. If you refuse, your safety cannot be guaranteed." We then see Rorschach walking through the sewers with Erica and Mime. Then Erica says, "At least it smells better than your car. You going to tell us where we're going now?" Then Rorschach replies, "No." "Why not?" "Don't remember." "Wait, what?" "Don't remember. Was it left or right?" Then suddenly, Mime reaches for something on his belt and pulls out an imaginary gun that he aims at Rorschach. Then Rorschach says, "Don't point imaginary guns at me. Wasn't funny the first time." Then Erica says, "Let me tell you how this is going to go, Rorschach. You're going to take us to your partner. He's going to tell us where our son is, or we're going to pull your tongues out of your mouths." Rorschach turns around and says, "That what happened to your husband? Someone take a pair of pliers and reach in?" "He did, so no more games, alright?" "Alright, right, that's right." Then Rorschach takes the right path. As the three walk down the path, they reach a large metal door that says, "Danger, Flood Zone." Rorschach walks up and knocks on the door. As the door opens, Rorschach says, "Going this way." Then Erica says, "Where?" Then Rorschach replies, "Into the light." We then see that the three have walked into Night Owl's old base. Then Erica says, "You know where we are, baby? Look at all this shit. That's the owl ship." Then Rorschach says, "Archie." Then Erica replies, "This is Night Owl's old pad, right? Where is he? Or are the rumors true?" Then Rorschach says, "What rumors now?" Then Erica replies, "That Rorschach killed Night Owl and the Silk Spectre before he offed himself. He went totally nuts. Is that what happened?" Then Rorschach says, "False. Put Screwdriver down." Then Erica looks at Night Owl's old suit. Then she says, "So he's alive. You've partnered up with Night Owl?" We then see Ozymandias walk into the room and tell them, "No, he's not. I tried to lure Night Owl back, but he's retired. Rorschach's working for me." Then Rorschach says, "With you, never for you." Then Erica says, "Ozymandias." Then Ozymandias replies, "Hello, and welcome. I see you brought your husband along. Disappointing, but I expected. I doubted Rorschach could persuade you otherwise." Then Erica says, "I don't know what you need us for." Then Ozymandias replies, "I only need you truthfully." Then Erica replies, "Me then. But if you know where our son is, you'll tell us right now, or we kill you and the Pretender. And I'm betting we collect a shitload of money for it. What's the price on your head anyway? 10 million? 20? Ozymandias pushes down Erica's screwdriver, then tells her, "Oh, I would think a quite bit more, Miss Manson. I'm happy to pay for your participation. 100 million. 2 if that sounds better. Along with the whereabouts of your son, but no more threats. They're ill-advised, particularly with him. The first Rorschach was an interesting man, a cruel one in some respects, but someone who held on to his principles. He was predictable, uncompromising. But this one..." Then Rorschach shouts, Stop! Then Ozymandias replies, Rorschach, I'm paying you a compliment. Then Rorschach shouts, Shut up, Fight! I'm Rorschach! Nothing else to tell! Then Ozymandias replies, I didn't mean to upset you. Then Rorschach says, I'm not upset! Not yet! Then Ozymandias says, Let's start over here. Then Erica says, And they say we're the ones who belong in prison. Look, what do you want with us? And what's this bullshit about finding God? Then Ozymandias says, Finding God. That's what Rorschach calls it. I assume you're aware of what I did. Then Erica says, Everyone knows what you did. Then Ozymandias says, It took a lifetime to conceive and orchestrate for a moment. There was hope, but even the greatest of empires decays. The very name I took is a testament to that. There is no escaping the irony. I found myself laughing uncontrollably when I first realized. Laughing until it's, ha! Then we see Ozymandias holding his head in pain. Then we see a broadcast on the news say, As the clock hits the 2-hour mark, I'm sad to report that forces in Poland continue to advance. Despite what any foreign press may claim, do not believe their lies. Then, as Ozymandias holds his head in pain, Erica says, What's wrong with him? Then Rorschach says, He's an asshole. Then Ozymandias says, Yes, and I also have cancer, and it's spreading. Another reminder of my mistakes, taking what is most precious to me. My dream has died. I cannot save our world, though there is one who, even now, has the power to. Dr. Manhattan. Then Erica shouts, Dr. Manhattan? No one's seen him in years. Then Ozymandias says, Yes, I know. We then see a memory from the end of Watchmen, where Dr. Manhattan says, I'm leaving this galaxy for one less complicated. Then Ozymandias tells everyone, That is our mission, all of us. We need to find John, wherever he's retreated to. We then go to Metropolis, in the DC Comics universe, where we see Lois Lane and Clark Kent laying down in bed. We then see a dream that Clark is having, where his mother, Martha Kent, says, They've never seen anything like you, Clark. If they did, a lot of them would be afraid. Then a younger Clark says, Is that why you're making me go tonight? To pretend I'm like everyone else? Even though everyone else thinks I'm a loser? Then Martha Kent says, No one thinks that, Clark. No one who matters. Where's Lana? Then Clark replies, Pete took Lana out tonight. Then Jonathan Kent says, I told you to ask her out, son. Then Martha Kent says, Well, I'm sure Lana is saving a dance for you. Then Clark tugs on his tie and says, Wearing this feels wrong. Then Martha tells him, You look handsome. Then Jonathan Kent says, One day, you'll let the whole world in on your secret. And let me tell you something, son. I cannot wait for that day. I really can't. But I wouldn't be your father if I didn't tell you. It also scares the bejeebus out of your mother and me. It's not you, Clark. It's the world. Clark then gets out of his parents' truck and says, I'm going to see Lana about that dance. Thanks for the ride. Then, as young Clark walks into the dance, Martha says, I worry about him, Jonathan. Then Jonathan says, Don't worry too much, Martha. He's never gotten so much as a paper cut. He can't be hurt. Then Martha says, But Clark's alone. Then Jonathan says, He has you and me. Then Martha replies, We won't be around forever. I wish we could have given him more. A brother or a sister. Then Jonathan says, Me too, Martha. But this is God's plan. Then suddenly, a truck crashes into the Kent's truck, knocking it out of control. Then Martha yells, Jonathan! Jonathan! Then the Kent's truck crashes into a tree. Just then, Clark wakes up and hears Lois shouting, Clark! Clark! Then he replies, Lois! Then Lois tells him, Clark! My God! You were yelling! The room was shaking! What happened? Then Clark tells Lois, It was a dream. I was in high school and... Then Lois says, Please calm down. Then Clark says, I heard their tires screech. Ma scream. Pa grit his teeth. Then Lois says, What? Then Clark tells Lois, It was the night my parents died. Lois, it was horrible. Then Lois says, Oh, Clark, I can't remember the last time you had a nightmare. Then Clark says, Lois, I don't think I've ever had one. And that ends today's story. Doomsday Clock is dedicated to comic book legend, Lin Win. Comic published by DC Comics. All rights, story art, and characters belong to DC Comics and their respective owners. Not me. This has been Doomsday Clock 1, Part 2, and I'm your host, Keith One Shot. If you like this video, make sure to check out the rest of my Comic Complete dramatic reading series, and support DC Comics by picking up a copy of the trades and single issue comics. Support your local comic book shop, take care, and have a great day. Goodbye!